bá mi dúpẹ́. Mo ṣoríire nínú ẹbí aláyọ̀.
And that's particularly for the fathers.
You will see him coming
and
in
you see his friends, you know, coming up.
Ẹbí aláyọ̀. Then for ìyàwó, they are always happy when you give them waka that is more of prayer. So that is why I said the one I you know put together myself. It's mo hun yẹn. Pé kò ní dẹ́kun lọ́la. Àmín. Kò ní dòṣe lọ́la. Àmín. Ètò ìgbéyàwó Khadijatu. Maybe I should use the name of my daughter. Kò ní dẹ́kun lọ́la. Àmín. Kò ní dòṣe lọ́la. Àmín. Ètò ìgbéyàwó Labibatu. Kò ní dẹ́kun lọ́la. And the last one for the last bride. The last one for the bride. Okay. Maybe after the Nikah, you can just say ọkọ àti ìyàwó, you know, the one that will bring them together. There is a particular one I was trying to recall as regards it's more of a prayer. It's not coming. Okay, maybe for general audience too, that one too is very important because àwọn èèyàn tó wà mí náà tó fẹ́ tí ò tí níyàwó mi fẹ́ yàwó, you know, you can just put that one in like bí wọ́n bá ṣílé yà àjọ rẹ̀ gbàgbọ́ tó bá ṣílé yà àjẹgbà rọ́bìlẹ̀ àlàmì iná ọba dániwáyé máma jẹ́ àṣílé yà níta wá máma jẹ́ àṣílé. Yes,
it's the anchor events, manage event for people. And I know majorly you do for different kind of event, for seminars, for weddings, for Nikah proper, and so basically we are looking at Nikah. So far so well, which is actually the proper standard for Nikah agenda. That so far so well.
Okay.
This agenda is actually one we can say we are cool with, and being a scholar that you are, so to say, so which because we see different kind of agenda for Nikah, people go through SXs, people do otherwise. What exactly can we really work with? Okay,
let me start by saying that I'm not a scholar. Okay. However, we are students of knowledge and we're still learning. So as regard Nikah agenda, majority of what we met with our fathers are too money centered.
Okay.
So like
you
know, people take it too serious that I make you won't be lonely. To the extent that when they say opening door, so on getting to the end of wala darling like this, you know, to the extent that people will continue to be standing and sitting and standing, it's more of punishing people.
Okay.
So one of those things that we need to change, that we are bringing to the limelight now, we want people to just, if they have to come and sow or sow whatever, should be just twice.
Nice.
And you as audience will be convinced of, people ishing go to your conscience, and you pay. You say, okay, I've seen a Nikah that in the next 1 hour we're done. Kilofa is because we are not wasting people's time. So to start with, just do your opening dua, opening remark, do your introduction of your guests. That's the next thing. When you introduce your guest, under the guest, you are bringing in Okoyawu, you are bringing in the parents, you are bringing in the wife. While they are seated, Quran should be recited. One of the mistakes that I'm mentioning, you know, people will be seated. Every other person will be seated. Okoyawu and Yawu will be outside. Talent celebrate.
You know, some scholars of opinion that even reading Quran, that Qurani is not it's not necessary at ceremony.
I think in yet Tushi they will say, okay, opening recitation.
Okay.
They don't support opening duha. Whatever you support is none of my business. I'm not a scholar in that.
Okay.
But what I will say is, are you doing it the way it should be done? Which is the message that fẹ́ pass on. Kí ni nǹkan tó yẹ kó ṣe ní Nikah ṣó ti ṣe? You understand? I'm not here to trade well with whosoever, but don't waste people's time. One, two is do it as brief as possible. Look for a scholar tó máa bá wọn yàn sọ̀rọ̀ Ọlọ́run that will not waste people's time. So when you do that, you are going to be assisting the whole populace. How? You are passing message to the audience. They will learn. They will pick their own. Husband will pick his own. The wife. Àwọn ìyá ọkọ and ìyá ìyàwó, they are major people that needs to listen to your lecture, because Tile Bandaru, you should look it. Just move to those women, those two, ìyá ọkọ and ìyá ìyàwó. We have had cases of ilé tó dàrú because of toothpaste. It does not make any sense. So this is where they will learn from a scholar, not àwọn bàbá tó máa ní ìyá Kúdímọ́ wà, ìyá Látímù, ìyá Látà, àwọn náà ti débi, ìyá Ṣẹ̀kì. All those ones, we don't want it anymore. And that is why you see Gen Z telling you, we don't want all this. We want to bring our own MC. And that is why they will look for people that have their orientation. So after that, and listen to recitation, stay to lecture. After lecture, solemnization will follow immediately. When they see the way you have done it, you have not disturbed anybody from the beginning. Tell them to bring 150,000. They are ready to pay, because one, you did not waste their time. You have presented yourself as an exposed scholar that knows what he's doing, that is not really after money. Meanwhile, what you have done worth more, but don't sell yourself cheap. When you do that, you are wasting your time.
What I see something is that for a proper Nikah, we have the following in the agenda. First, the
opening dua. If you are the type that believes in opening dua, if you don't believe in opening dua, do your opening recitation.
Okay. So you introduce you make sure the guests, everybody is well seated before you do the recitation. Okay. So if you are doing opening dua, you do your opening dua. Yeah. You invite your guests,
yes,
both the groom and the bride.
Yes.
Then you do if you are doing recitation of Quran, do your recitation.
Yes. After which lecture.
And next thing that comes in is a
lecture
proper
and solemnization.
Solemnization. That's like number 5. Solemnization, and then item 7 comes in. Then you can now talk about people just want to give their.
When you tell people to come and do for long, and that is where they will be happy to say, I want to fight here, try. So
I think that takes us to where we have issues where parents and children dragging issue. Oh, parents, I'm bringing my scholars, my Allah Salah to come and do it. And the child who is now exposed, who is being out here with friends, like, no, I want my teacher because I want things to be well organized. Afa Milumbo, daddy man, no. Afa who alone right any to my shodi.
Okay.
Is it the children or the brides or the groom or the parents?
Okay. As much as I would not want to be biased, I want to say that Baba Ìyàwó has power.
Okay.
Now, in this case, who is to bring scholars? We can have divergent views. However, you must consider, if they are good people. You can say, at this point, no problem, it's part of it. So when they are here, what you do is just let them harmonize thoughts. Afa, nǹkan báyìí lẹ ṣe. Afa, nǹkan báyìí ní kẹ́ ṣe. Ẹ̀yin náà ṣe báyìí. At least to máa bá yín manage the whole thing. Why are we doing it's because of what is coming in.
So MC is actually the
MC mediator. That is why people should understand what MC is. It's not just master of ceremony. You are going to be the host. And when they say you are the host, it means whatever you are doing there must be representing the thought of your boss. The person that called you, that gave you the job. So you are the host. You are representing Baba Ìyàwó or whosoever that called you. Now, if you are representing that person, all those Baba should be able to say, okay, nǹkan tí Baba Ìyàwó làwọn fẹ́ lélẹ̀. So MC ti wà tó fẹ́ guide wa. And that is where you see MC giving time. So like I said, MC is the host because he's representing the baba ìyàwó that give the job to him. So tó bá ti ń coordinate ẹ pé ibẹ̀ ló ti máa sọ pé okay you have so number of time láti lò fún kinní kan ẹni tó fún yín ní 20 minutes yẹn ó ti mọ̀ pé it is possible you exceed á ti wá dìde prior to the time okay giving you signal that okay you have to start wrapping up and that gets it. So by the time you are done with that tí lecture ti lọ tí solemnization ti lọ tó máa fẹ́ gbowó kó máa easy. And I must say here our MC no we need to understand how to bring in worker, putting the right worker to at the right time.
And
thank
to
you.
motivate the audience.
má kàn dá wákà pé àwa tí ẹ rí tilétilé òde fẹ́ gbowó ọpẹ́ doesn't make any sense. You know, I came up with particular one lately about how to get owó ọpẹ́ from people. Then I would just say bàbá ìyàwó ẹ gba mic ẹ bá ń sọ fáwọn èèyàn pé ẹ wá bá ń dúpẹ́. You know, when you just say it I will now tell bàbá ìyàwó ẹ jẹ́ ń sọ ní tẹ́sán ẹ jẹ́ ń sọ di wákà. We just turn it to work and say ẹ wá bá mi dúpẹ́ ẹ wá bá mi. So by the time people picked it they are part of you. The next thing you just put is the next one. Mo ṣoríire nínú ẹbí aláyọ̀ ẹ wá bá mi ọpẹ́yẹmí rè ẹbí aláyọ̀.
We are still going to have enough worker because we need to quickly check which is even allowed and which is not allowed when you are doing worker. And you know most of the those are the assumed alusuno and whatever. A lot of them don't even now they are now tilted towards worker and everything.
Worker is not bad.
So another thing I really want us to look at is for the conscious Muslims and we have our manners, our social manners, so to say. At events, we see now different nikah. Now we want to Islamize everything we see from the West. Okay. So where we now see nikah now, bridal train awa lotun, awa lo si, hijab asun lola pot, hijab asun lola po si, makeup aba gbogbo ojú jẹ́, yawa ma bo. But normally we assume that if that stage you are, there's another thing that you are doing above the stage, but because you just want to do the social part of it, you bring yourself, low to just for the sake of that day.
Okay. Let me just say that as regards bridal train and groomsmen, as the case may be, one needs to understand the kind of people
and note that it's not. And sorry to cut you. And also note that is it even necessary for the bride to be at the car floor?
Okay. That is for the scholars to determine. However, there are different stands. Taban sọ̀rọ̀ fikihu nikah. Ibẹ̀ làwọn èèyàn tí mo máa sọ pé okay, dandan kọ́ ni kíyàwó wà ńbẹ̀. Àwọn míì dẹ̀ ní kò sí nǹkan tó burú ńbẹ̀. So when we have divergent opinion, there is a saying of one of the student of Sheikh Maliki, student one, when he was talking about divergent views on issues like this, only wa Ahmadun wa Malikun wa Shafi'in, he was mentioning those scholars, those four scholars. You know, say Abu Hanifa Imam Tabi'in. Now said he mentioned those ones. He now said Allahu min rabbihim wa rahma. All of them are on the path, the straight path of Allah. They may be having divergent views. And they can still be quoting the same hadith, but the understanding may be different. You now say, Wa ikhtilafi ni'matuhum lilhum. There are different opinions on matters. It is ni'mah. It is blessing for the ummah. So you are free to just, tilt to Maliki. If you think Maliki's view is what you are going for on this particular issue, no problem. So giving yourself unnecessary dick, you just wound yourself. So in this case of bridal train groomsmen, the truth remains that we are displaying them, which is not 100% proper. However, in this modern world, the Gen Zs you are dealing with, you need to learn to manage them so that you will not send them away. Don't forget the verse of Allah that says, Id'u ila sabili rabbik bil hikmah wal mau'izatu hasana. You want to call somebody to this part of the deen, and you are taking. No. You can take it step by step. At the end of the day, they will come to you. Just that thing you want to take away from them, you can take it away gradually. And some of them brings this in, basically because they want you to know that àwọn ọ̀dọ́ sìn wọ́n sáré lọ gbóyún. So when you see a such nikah, well, you know, they have a very good ambience, and you have brides coming in style, in grand style. Èmi náà máa fẹ́ relé you. It's an encouragement. Yes.
Wait for this kind of a day before they got
this. Èmi náà máa ṣe ìyàwó, máa wá gbádà, máa wá ṣe báyìí, because they have seen one like that. So it's a way to encourage them. So lastly, our Gen Zs now, they are bringing in a reception. I know you may want to talk about reception. Exactly. Reception now, before we key into it, because you have to key into it. You have to key into it.
Or else you just leave them to do the after party.
Thank you, God bless you.
And they do all sorts of things if you are not part of it.
That is exactly why we are keying in. Okay, how can we manage the excesses of both the parents and the Gen Zs? What do I mean by the parents? Our parents mean máa pe àwọn olórin that I don't want to mention.
Only singers.
So when they start thinking all those things, it is their day. They're supposed to be very happy.
I was going to ask a technical question again.
Please.
That ta ló ní ọjọ́ nikah? Is it the parents? Is nikah for the parents, or they are doing it for their children? Because you find out who has the largest number of guests?
The parents.
Whose guests are more attended to?
The
parents. So who is doing the event? Who owns the event?
Okay. We can have it in different ways. Tá bá fẹ́ wo títí agbára Ọlọ́run bá gbé sí di nikah, we'll give it to the parent, but particularly the father. Òun ló lágbára ọjọ́ yẹn. But ta ni ó fẹ́ dunnú tó ní ìdùnnú ọjọ́ yẹn, particularly ọmọ obìnrin tó ń lọlé ọkọ àti ọmọ ọkùnrin tó fẹ́ gbéyàwó. So we don't have option than to make them happy. So making them happy is key. Now, whatever we do that will make them happy, we should try to do, particularly when it is within the confine of the Quran and Sunnah, as far as I am concerned. When it is going outside that didn't key and after party, see,
so before we quickly end up, can you give for almost 20 years you've been an MC in Lagos, in Nigeria?
Okay.
And I know a lot of people are looking at, Lukman Edu, my MC Nikah, Lukman Edu here and there.
Okay.
So can you give us those what are actually those things that you really look out for in your personality, that you're always like the first point of call whenever they have me Nikah to do? And at the same time, I would like you to give us introduce maybe 3 or 2 of your own personal waka that you thrill your audience with, and that makes them glued to you.
Okay, what people want to see that made them to say, okay, we want you. One is the fact that we are able to bring in waka into limelight, because these days people were like, the man was serious with you, call Allah, call Rasul. Say waka wọlé nígbà tí ẹ jó, nígbà tí ẹ kọrin, you know. So waka is allowed, and provided waka tí ò ní àwọn oríṣiríṣi like ebo or whatever, you know. You can be having wakas like okay, I was at a nikah, I was just there as a guest. So somebody was one of the MC, they were 2, now came up with the waka. I felt very bad with that waka. I don't know if I can say that. He was referring to Yaya, was saying, any pay magoke, as much as it's adwa, fine. You are praying for Yaya, and unfortunately, Nikah, the man has 2 wives. You do know you can trigger problem in that family. So maybe they have something there. What you do me for? So you have to be extra careful. Any waka that will bring wahala after the nikah, don't go into it. Either it will or it will not. Don't just bring waka that will bring controversy. So instead of that, you can look for waka that is more of prayer, more of bringing people together, more of unity. like ìfẹ́ ló pa wá pọ̀ tá fi débí Islam ló so wá pọ̀ tá fi débí má jẹ́ kí Ṣẹ̀tánì ó yà wá má jẹ́ kí Ṣẹ̀tánì ó yà wá má jẹ́ kí Ṣẹ̀tánì. Yeah, and it goes on like that. I don't want to, Then another one is when you are okay. You asked something about me giving you workers that for me. Okay, actually, before you can come up with worker that you want to say, okay, I did this myself, you must have looked at somebody's own that will guide you. You understand?
From it.
Yes. I came up with a particular one, and alhamdulillah, today people are using it here and there. Some people may not know how it came up. So I was at a Nikah, and he said, waka yẹn kó oríṣiríṣi àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ kọ̀ọ̀kan sínú tó ní ṣèkìnnú. So I just sat myself down and let me look at. I took like an hour trying to put plus and minus, and that was where I came up with kò ní dẹ́kun lọ́la àmín, kò ní dòṣe lọ́la àmín, ètò ìgbéyàwó ọjọ́ òní kò ní dẹ́kun. You can now make it in grand style. If that person tó ń ṣe ìyàwó yẹn, you know the name, how do I slot in this person in, and it will look like èmi gangan ló ṣe wákà ìfojú, understand? Let's say for instance, maybe it's Mariam or Khadija. Okay, let's use Khadija. Okay, kò ní dẹ́kun lọ́la àmín, kò ní dòṣe lọ́la àmín, kó má dẹ́kun lọ́la àmín, kó má dòṣe lọ́la àmín, ètò ìgbéyàwó Khadija tó kò ní dẹ́kun. People will be forced to say amen and say, bobo, you want be. So that was one. The other one I did myself, I think I mentioned it earlier, was Okpe. People will say, Okpe wa, Okpe. It's a general one. Get good. Instead of now using Okpe wa, I now changed it. I worked on it. Okay, I can still use that. There's nothing wrong with that. But I brought in this one. Okay. Instead of that, okay, let me use a style that will make people feel okay. Baba Yao, Emabo, when he's by my side, I'll say, Baba, what is so igi omo yin? So you will do whatever he wants to do. I will now say, Baba Egba, Akim mo fi echa gba. Ẹ sọ fáwọn èèyàn tó bá bá yín wá pé ẹ wá bá ń dúpẹ́ kan sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ nìkan tán. So immediately he says that, Baba ló rán mi sí yín o. When you about dupe, eventually I'll just come up with waka that will be of that message. Ewa ba mi dupe, ewa ba mi mo ṣoríire nínú ẹbí aláyọ̀. Or you say ẹbí mi rè, ẹbí aláyọ̀. Ewa ba mi. That was in Nikah I did that. That man said, he now called me and gave me a star, so it's very Allah Akbar.
So I think that's that on a lot of Nikah. We will have to work on, so the message is clear, and people should learn more. They will see, you're going to see his info,
inshallah,
footnotes.
Yes, I need to say this. It's not 28 years. Yeah, we are still working on doing something that will explain more about it. It's 19 years this year. By next year, April or so, it will be 28, inshallah. So on stage, I've been.
Almon, can you categorically just mention the number of Nikah you've anchored?
My brother, I did not note them. When I was doing it, it was more of what's I watching the guy? So it was not something I can't say that it is over 300, inshallah. Because I did a rough calculation. On a yearly basis, is over the 300.
Pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for in all those nikahs you've anchored.
There are some nikahs that I will even see the bride some other time at another nikah. Say, "Assalamu alaikum, I don't know you." At the end of the day, they will say, because sincerely I forgot them. So to an extent, I had to start changing my style now because people will feel bad. So when you greet me, someone alaikum salam, even if I don't know who I'm talking to.
And you see, and you need to look into train young brothers on event anchoring, especially the ethical event anchoring, whereby it's not an MC turning himself to a beggar and is in front stage. People need to learn to, if you are charge your money or not before the event. Doing the event, do it strictly professionally.
Okay. I've made frantic efforts on bringing younger ones together and training them. Sincerely, àwọn Gen Z they are not ready for training. They have forgotten that some of us to pass through training.
And they want to do the job.
Imagine somebody I took to a Nikah is under my tutelage and then I didn't share Nikah lower. You know, number one, you don't tell people edake. It is insulting. You're telling our àgbàlagbà edake. You have to learn those languages. But some of them are not, you know. At the end of the day, we got out of that Nikah. Experience, the field experience. I'm not supposed to even pay you. You understand? And I gave him around 5,000-10,000. He was feeling like, really kill you. So when that is still on that train, I'm training him. Imagine. So people are like that. You know, it's this particular one. Ọkọ ìyàwó pẹ̀lú ìyàwó rẹ̀. Àdúrà ni. Àti fàyín lólúwa lọ́wọ́. Ẹkún òní ìgbẹ̀yìn ayọ̀. Ìgbéyàwó yẹn á ṣe sóore. Assalamu alaikum.